All right, on today's video, we're going to put together another shelf so I can get some more organization done here in the shed. It's this one, the Performax 3-tier heavy duty shelving unit. Picked this up at Menards and we'll see how this goes. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is open it up. Got my Milwaukee Fastback. And here's one end. These are supports. There's a bunch of cross members. Two more supports. Rest of the cross members. Here's the hardware. It does come in a bag. And I have put two of these together, but of course it's been a while, so I can't remember exactly how the steps are. I think I put the bottom ones on first. Yep. So we'll do that. We'll put the bottom ones on. All right, I'll turn this a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so here's one side, here's the other side. And I will grab one of the supports. And it does have writing on it, so that way you can see if you're putting it the right direction. And I'll put this one in the very bottom. This first one is, if you do have help, it does work easier, but you can pull it off by yourself. There we go. You just tap them in there, and that's how you put the cross members in. I'll put the rest of them on, and then we will do the cross members. so the next step is putting these braces, the cross braces in. And there's 3 of these per level. And I already put the bottom ones in. And they're, you know, make sure you have something to kneel on when you're doing that. A little more time consuming. A little more possibility of a plumber showing on that. So I've got those in already. I've got the 2 side ones here already in for the second row. And you put the bolts in on the from the bottom side, otherwise it'll mess up your platform, the wire mesh that goes on top of here. So I just start it on one side. Get it in there. And then I put get your little hardware package. I put the bolts in both sides before I tighten them up. Get them out of there. Okay, now in the directions, here, I'll pull one back out. In the directions, because this is a slotted head, in the directions it has you coming up from the bottom and putting the nut on top. And that's because to get a screwdriver that small in there to hold that would not work very well. But it just so happens that I bought a toolbox at an auction and it came with some tools. And it had this bent screwdriver in it. And guess what? It works perfect for this. So you don't have to worry about holding it up, getting the nut on, getting the nut started before you tighten it. So that's what I use. Now I'm not telling you need to go bend a screwdriver to do that, but it works pretty good. So then just one nut on each of these. There we go, and then it is a 10 millimeter. Get it working. Hold it here. Keep bumping my little deal there. And I'm trying to loosen it instead of tightening it. Okay, there we go. And honestly, it tightened there and I didn't even need to put the screwdriver on top of it. Some of them I've needed to, some of them I haven't. But that crooked screwdriver works pretty good. Okay, there we go. So I got all the braces, the cross braces for the middle set up. I'll put the last top bar on and put those and we'll be about ready to finish up. All right, we're up to the last 2 steps. Not that I'm a safety channel, but so there's these little stops that you put in on top of the main bars here. Little plastic guys, so they'll slow it down if you hit it with something, but it's to keep it together so it doesn't come apart on you. And you just get it in the hole. And tap that in. Okay. Now the next part is put these screens on, and you want to make sure that the crossbar is to the downside, so that way stuff will slide across easier. We'll just put the middle one on here first. Like so. Now for the bottom one. And the final thing. Sits in there good. Now, before you start putting stuff on, of course, make sure you got it where you want it. And about even. Maybe just a little further back. All right. There we go. So that was the Performax 3-tier heavy-duty shelving unit. Now you can, so like, since I have 3, well, technically I have 4 of them. Technically, you can just hook these together, do different, you know, modular type shelving if you want. But the way the floor is in the shed, and to get it in between the beams in here, I'm keeping them separate. Who knows, may change my mind later down the road. And if I wanted to, I could do that. I do see one thing with having those on the bottom rather than the flathead is you could catch on there. So I don't know, maybe I'll switch those. Odds are I probably won't. It was easier to install that way because you didn't have to hold it and get the nut on there. But that's, again, this is how I did it. You don't always have to do it the way I do it, or ever. Yeah, but as always, thanks for watching, and take care.